Cheers, beautiful people. Welcome back to Aged in Oak. My name is John. So, you saw the thumbnail. You saw the title. So, some of you are curious. Some of you want to hear what my take is. Some of you want to just see how dumb I am. I'm good with that. Still going to toss out my feelings on this. So, there has been a dramatic downturn in bourbon production, bourbon consumption. There are big changes happening in the bourbon, in the whiskey industry, and I've heard, and I'm sure there's more than just the people I've heard of, that are concerned about the future of the spirit. I'll just cut to the chase. I will answer the question for the video right now. Do I think whiskey's in trouble? No. Do I think it's going through a transition period? Yes. Do I think that that transition period is going to be bumpy? Sure. All transition periods are bumpy. I mean, we've got all the chaos going on at Nearest Green. We've got the announcement that the Clermont campus of Beam is going to suspend production for 26. A few months back, they announced that the one Brown-Forman cooperage was gonna close down. We've got Luca Mariano, Stoli, and by extension Kentucky Owl have transitioned from Chapter 11 to Chapter 7. There's a lot going on, and I'm gonna kind of touch on and give my feelings about this stuff. And while I am, I'm going to have some of my Knob Creek 9 single barrel, the 120 proof. And I don't have a single bit of problem drinking my Beam. Why? Because I know that Beam's not going anywhere. They make the #1 selling whiskey on the planet. Regardless of how you feel about Jim Beam White Label, I've seen several stats that says that it is the #1 selling whiskey on the planet. Is that going to change? No. There's a simple reason that Beam has, or maybe more than just one, but there's a reason that Beam has shut down production. One of the reasons is the distilleries are sitting on 16 million barrels of surplus. You only go so far into surplus before you say, hey, let's dial back production a little bit. Why run ourselves in a hole? There is tax, all kinds of fees and a lot of other stuff that come with sitting on all of that surplus. A responsible business is going to constantly be looking at, hey, there's a change in the whiskey environment right now. How do we weather it? How do we get through it and be even stronger at the end of all this? That's what Beam is doing. They're saying, hey, we have so much. It's interesting that this came kind of right after I found out about the latest Bookers called Phantom Pipes. The story, I mean, and I will really paraphrase this. The story is that they were in the production area, and they found a series of pipes that didn't go anywhere. There's stuff there that is old, and why not take the opportunity while they're shut down to renovate all that? They've got so much opportunity to go through and, properly, organize and maybe reroute to make something more efficient or modernize. There's nothing like being able to, I mean, yeah, you can change things on the fly. You can do this, and you can maintain this, and you can upgrade this. But when you have the opportunity to say, okay, we're just going to shut things down for a little bit. We're going to go through. We're going to let that. First of all, we're going to let some of that surplus go down. They're still going to be making money, and we're going to renovate. We're going to modernize. We're going to organize, and that's what I'm thinking they're doing. As far as I know, the last thing they said, as far as I know, was that there still were no layoffs planned. They're keeping the kitchen table is staying open. The gift shop is staying open. There are several people that are still working there, and they've got other campuses. Some people will probably be transitioned over to those other campuses if they can do that. But like I said, to date, I have not heard that there have been any layoffs, any terminations in regard to this. So, without borrowing on an assumption, let's allow for the fact that Beam is going to do exactly what they say they're going to do. They're going to shut down for 26, and will it be? Will they fire up January 1st of 2027? Who knows? Maybe that year will be a year and a week, year and a month. As long as it doesn't hurt the brand, as long as it doesn't hurt the people working there, let it work. Everybody wants to jump on the doom and gloom when this kind of thing happens. And right now, I see this, other than maybe the inconvenience that some people might have to drive a little bit further to work, I see this as, on the whole, a big positive. I think that Beam can manage this financially because of all the stuff that is sitting in surplus, because of the fact that you still see all kinds of Beam on the shelves, and I would venture to say that you're going to see all kinds of Beam on the shelf throughout the year, 27, 28. Like I said, they make the number one bourbon on the planet. They're not going anywhere. Okay, Nearest Green. There's a lot to unpack here. And have I been down there for the court proceedings? No. At the end of the day, when it comes to Nearest Green, this is my take on the whole thing. The Weavers have tried at every step along the way to kick and kick and kick and kick to maintain control. Simple fact is, they don't have control. They didn't have control before this all started. They fired, I believe his name was Mike Senzaki. They fired him in October of 24. And they did that because they said he was misreporting. They said they were, the handling of the company funds. Tell me why. If that's why you're going to fire your CFO, would you not want to dig in to the books and find out what did he mess up? Because at the end of the day, they're the boss. Whether it's the person that clocks in late, whether it's the person that goes home and then has somebody clock out for him, or somebody steals something, or the CFO, or whatever they do. At the end of the day, it is the responsibility of the Weavers. If they fired him in October of 24 and Farm Credit filed against them in July of 28, they had 9 months to say, okay, we got rid of him for this reason. What did he mess up? How do we make it right? Because I think, honestly, if they would have made an effort to do that and find out what he messed up. That farm credit would have been, hey, good catch, good job getting rid of him. We'll work with you and we'll make this work. Banks don't like losing money. They'll work with you if they think that they're going to get what they're owed. At some point, will they pull the plug? Yeah. And they did. 9 months after they claimed to have fired Senzaki for these reasons. I know that this video, my views on this, are not going to be taken well by a lot of people, especially fans of the Weavers and fans of Nearest Green. I've had Nearest Green whiskey. It's not bad. It's not my favorite profile, but it's not bad whiskey. It's not about me not liking the brand. I do. This is my personal belief. I'm not putting this out as a fact or anything. I'm not going. Me labeling something as a fact and having it be wrong is slander, and that's not what I'm going to do. But it's my gut feeling that the Weavers are more concerned about keeping control of this company than doing what's best for this company. I think that the bank is trying to do that. I think that the receiver is trying to do that. I think that the judge is trying to do that. I think the only people that are kicking and fighting are the Weavers. Now we have this investor group that is throwing their hat in the ring, say, hey, we want to buy the debt, we want to do this, manage it, save the brand. Now we're finding out that not only one, that I don't know if both of the Weavers, but from what I'm hearing, Fawn was part of the formation, was part of forming this investor group. That doesn't seem kind of above the table. One of the guys in the investor group, I don't remember his last name's Ali. He's been in trouble with the SEC for fraud. Not a good option, considering that's why they got rid of Senzaki, they claim. So I think that the best way to handle this is to let the court, let the receiver, and honestly, allow for the possibility that other investor groups might want to come in and see if they can save the brand. Because the most important thing about this whole thing is the wholeness and wellness of the community, the people who work for Nearest Green, and I think that the Weavers, especially Fawn, in my belief, my opinion, needs to check her pride at the door and do what's best for the brand, Nearest Green's legacy, and the people of that community, especially the people that work for the company. So, like I said, what I've said is probably pretty volatile, probably will not be taken very well. I'll probably get a crap ton of dislikes for this video, but this was something that's really been on my mind. Not so much the Nearest Green by itself, although there's a lot to, like I said, there's a lot to unpack there. But this whole idea by the whiskey community that whiskey's in trouble. Whiskey helped found this country. Regardless how some people feel about whiskey, whether it's health-wise, for religious reasons, or whatever, whiskey had a big part and still has a big part in the foundation of this country. So, as far as the other things, business, regardless of ups and downs in the industry, businesses form and businesses fall every day. I don't know everything around the Stoli Kentucky Owl situation. I don't know everything around the Luca Mariano situation. As far as the Brown-Forman cooperage, I think that Brown-Forman is just looking out for their bottom line. I have been fired. I have been laid off. I am not taking away from that in any way. But from a business standpoint, some hard decisions have to be made if the business is going to stand. And I think that's what happened with the Brown-Forman cooperage. I think that they looked at the bottom line and said, we can do better financially if we shut down this cooperage and outsource these barrels. As a company, as a business, they have to do what is going to keep those doors open. And yes, look at the people who have been laid off. Look at the people who have been fired. But in the greater scheme of things, look at how many other people have not been laid off or fired. And I'm not saying that these people are more important than these people, but business comes with hard decisions. Life comes with hard decisions. And I've been doing all this talking, and I haven't had any of this. Let's toss some of this back. Well, I don't know if you get more solid, more consistently solid, good, amazing pork than good old Knob Creek. Whether it's their regular stuff, their store picks, oh man, Knob Creek is just so good. And this single barrel 120 is, it's right there too. But so I said all that to say this. Everything is, I don't know that I would say everything is cyclical in this regard, but the simple fact is it's a roller coaster. There's going to be highs. There's going to be lows. There's going to be speed ups. There's going to be slowdowns. These things happen. It's business. Would different people in those places of power in those companies, if there were other people, would they have made other decisions? Yeah, maybe. But honestly, that's one of the reasons that I'm kind of glad that I'm at the level I am, because I don't know if I could make those decisions, because I think too much of my heart would play into it, because I don't ever want to see anybody laid off. But if you're going to do something for the betterment of a company, sometimes you have to make those hard decisions. All right, well, I'm going to get off my soapbox here. That's kind of things I wanted to touch base on this. I want to do kind of on a fairly regular basis a video talking about things like the industry news, or certain topics like I have done before, like best whiskeys in this situation, or doing a blind of the best starter bourbons, and which spoiler alert, I'm thinking about doing. Looking at the I'm gonna upcoming blind with several different bottles of the Jack Daniel's Single Barrel Proof Rye, to kind of get a feel for is one of the barrel houses better than the rest. Let's put a pin in this one, and I hope that I didn't upset too many people. That was not my goal. My goal was to put my thoughts out on this topic. Until the next time we rank and review, or do a first sip, or talk about something like this, or do a blind, Cheers.